Alright, so starting off, my name is Adrian Broussard. Our company is ITTSME, stands for Information Technology and Technical Solutions Made Easy. And today we're going to talk about how to protect your PC and how to protect your data. Okay? Alright, so since it's only 2 people here, we can make this even better. So if you have a question about either today's topic or anything that you want to know about, don't be afraid to ask. Okay, this is the place where we learn. I don't want you guys to feel scared to ask any question that you need to ask. All right. So, all right, hit the lights. All right. So the first part in protecting your PC is, or the first line of defense is antivirus. You probably hear a lot about that. When you get a computer, you're supposed to protect it, right? Well, the absolute honest truth is no virus protection is 100%, right? And there's a reason for that, because we tend to do things on the computer that we're not always aware of. And I'll show you exactly what I mean by that. Now, there's many different virus protection. There's McAfee, Norton, Trend Micro, Kaspersky. Some are better than others. One of our favorites is WebRoot. Another one is McAfee. Malwarebytes. Norton and McAfee are not the top runners anymore. They used to be really good, but they don't do as good of a job anymore. We get lots of computers in with those antivirus on it and they're infected, which means that it's not doing its job.
Yeah, wait, what's the names again?
WebRoot. That's our top one. That's the one that we sell the most. And Malwarebytes is the other one.
Malwarebytes.
Mm-hmm. In Malwarebytes, you can do a free trial for, I think, 30 days. They let you try it out. So it's pretty good. All right. So that's the first layer of protection. And I just want to kind of show you some things that a lot of people don't pay attention to. So number one, when we're browsing the web, what a lot of people don't pay attention to is the listings of things that come up. And what I mean by that is, honey, go ahead and open up Google. All right, so this is our basic search page, and we're going to go ahead and, for instance, let's go to, what's the new site? It's not dayt.se? Adrian. Type in dayt and let's see if that one comes up. Nope. All right, they actually just changed the name of this, but what I want to do was show you. Have you ever had a pop-up on the screen that say your computer is infected? Click here now to remove. Right. And they'll give you a yes or no. Mm-hmm. Okay, what do you typically do in that scenario?
What you do is you'll press no, and then it'll keep on it, and it'll freeze it.
That's right.
And it loops.
Right.
It loops you, and then it forces you to either decide whether or not you're going to press yes. Mm-hmm. I don't know what, that's ransomware?
Yeah, no, that's ransomware. Well, it could be several things. It could be a virus, could be ransomware, because they all present themselves in different ways. Mm-hmm. You don't know till it's too late, unfortunately, what it is. Because Trojans can do it. You know, there's so many different types now. But let's just classify all of them as your basic virus, because they all are attacking our system. They're all trying to data mine us. They're trying to take data from us and send it to whoever the creator is.
Really?
Yes.
In my situation, my daughter gave me her old computer almost 3 years ago. After I had it about a year, someone stole it. So I haven't been with a computer for a while, so I need to catch up. You know, but I followed with Google, but I still got this. Mm-hmm. So, okay, I'm catching up with you.
Okay.
So with you.
So we'll touch on that in a second. Right. Okay, so basically when you see that, so your answer was you click no, right? That is actually incorrect. You should not click anything, because no is coded just like yes. So even though you click the no button,
right,
it's coded in the background to say yes. So it's just like you clicking the yes button, right? So I'm gonna show you a unique little thing. I want you to press Alt F4, honey. Notice what happened? When he pressed Alt F4, it closed down that window without giving it an answer. So she didn't have to, if we had that pop up, she wouldn't have had to click yes or no. It would have just closed that window out. All right, now go ahead and reopen that window again. All right, so let's say we got another pop-up, right? Well, another way to do it is do a Control-Alt-Delete. All right, when you do a Control-Alt-Delete, it's going to bring up this screen on Windows 10, and we want to go to Task Manager. Right? Task Manager is going to give you a list of all the different programs running on your computer. So once again, we can end this screen by ending the task on Google Chrome or Internet Explorer or Microsoft Edge. And each one of those are a different search provider. You're right. And the other one for Mac is Safari and what am I forgetting? Firefox. So those are your most popular. Now, what you'll notice down here, we have some of the most popular, which Google is like the number one. That's what most people use. Internet Explorer, and then this new thing with Windows 10 called Windows Edge. All right. Now, Edge has been causing a lot of problems and messing up for people, so I typically don't recommend my clients to use Windows Edge. I recommend that they use Google Chrome or Internet Explorer, which can be identified by the light E versus the dark E. Now, if you're on Windows 10, like how do I get Internet Explorer? See this little search bar down here? If you click there, right, and type in IE, no, I'm sorry. You all can actually follow along. Did you want to follow along or
Yeah,
are you fine? Just right now? Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, again.
wait, look, technically, all of the things you're saying, I can follow, but wait, where was I? Okay, we got to Alt 4.
Yeah, Alt F4.
Alt 4, then it's what?
F4. Now remember, make sure you put that Alt F4 because it's not the number. There's a number 4, and I'm gonna turn on the light just so you can
Well, yeah,
see.
it's on the button.
Yeah.
So wait, I can press Alt and then press that F4.
So you press
Right,
and
that's
hold
what I
down
thought.
Alt,
Okay, not F4, that makes sense.
and you press F4.
Okay, yeah, but yeah, look, you were answering a whole bunch of questions. Like, yeah, look, I don't like Edge either, okay? But
Yeah.
what happened is, I was using Firefox, and I don't really like Firefox that much either, okay? Now, when I go to my email, it'll bring up Edge, and I stay in Edge.
Okay.
Okay, so how do I
get Firefox?
No, I got Firefox on my machine. I'm trying to figure out how can I get out of Edge and just go back to Explorer,
Okay.
like you were saying.
All right. So let's go ahead and touch on that. So now you can follow along. The computer should be up if you want. All right. If not, you can just write. That's up to you. Okay. So right here we have this little search bar, and this little search bar is very smart. It knows if we're trying to go to the web or if we're trying to find something on our computer. So what's the abbreviation for Internet Explorer? Anybody know? Or the acronym? Okay, IE. Go ahead and type in IE in a lower bar.
Oh, yeah, IE?
IE, Internet Explorer.
That's good.
And it automatically pops up. So now if you click that, bam, we have Internet Explorer. So that's an easy way to get around using Microsoft Edge versus Internet Explorer, right? Now, keep in mind, this is temporary. For some people, they don't want to have to keep typing in IE, right?
I got you.
Okay, let's close that down. All right, close that. And I want you to come back over here, type in IE. All All right, now I want you to right click on that. And I want you, see now the reason she right click, keep in mind, when you left click something, it's gonna select it,
Yeah.
right? When you right click, you're gonna get a set of options. You're gonna get a box, and it doesn't matter what you put that on. If you put it on another icon, you're gonna get a new set of options. If you put it on a desktop and right click, you're gonna get a new set of options. So we wanted some options on Internet Explorer. So we're gonna say open file location, because we wanna know where that's at. We don't wanna have to type Internet Explorer every time we go down there, right? So now that this is giving us the place as a shortcut, we can go ahead and right click again.
Oh, gotcha.
You had a question?
No, I'm finding out where it actually is.
Oh yeah, you
program.
Okay, so you're reading the string, the program string, which is good.
Yeah.
Okay, so right click on Internet Explorer. All right, and we want to pin to taskbar. All right, so what you'll notice now is now we have a permanent blue E. So go ahead and close that. Now notice before when she closed it out, this E disappeared. But now, because she's pinned it to the taskbar, anything you pin in the taskbar, it'll stay here. Okay, so now we have our Internet Explorer. And if you just don't want to deal with Windows Edge at all, you can right click on Edge and delete it. Now don't do that, honey. But just for the sake of argument, yes, you could remove this from the taskbar and then you would just have Internet Explorer or Google Chrome or Firefox, whatever you choose, yes.
Now, I understand that about the taskbar, but what I'd like to know is that how can I do like I used to be able to do, like it's either Windows 8 or 10, where I could get my favorites and put them on the screen.
You could get your favorites and put them
Right.
on the screen.
You have a okay, let's see, look.
So normally if you hit the star,
Right.
not there. Yep, the little star.
Right. You add the bookmark. You put it on bookmark bar. Okay.
Right, and your
Now-
bookmark bar is right there.
Right.
Or you can get the list.
But see, look, in the old days,
Uh-huh.
I could shrink it from a full screen, take and drag it from out of the list and put it right on the screen.
Oh, onto
And you
the
can't-
desktop?
On the desktop, yeah. You can't do that anymore, or maybe I'm not doing it right.
Okay, let's see. Let's go through that. So let's go to ITSME. www.itsme.com. Are you familiar with that?
No,
No? Okay.
I'm probably no.
So I'll do it on here just to kind of show you. So the first thing we want to do is we're going to open up our web browser, which is called Google Chrome.
Mhm.
Okay, you're going to open. All right.
What's the password for the wireless here?
It's on that little sheet on the computer. All right. So this is our browser,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
So now if we click, see all that becomes blue?
Yeah.
When you see that become blue, it means it's ready to accept commands.
All right.
So then you just type in what you want, and because we're going to itsme.com, we type in www, period, or dot, as they refer to it as, ITTSME.com,
Yes, ma'am.
.com, C-O-M, and then we hit enter. And now you are up with us.
All right.
All right. So now, unfortunately, it's going to be kind of hard to see, but I'll do my best to explain this. In the upper right-hand corner, there's a little star,
Okay.
and we want to click that star, right? So you move the mouse with this, look for the little cursor, there you go, and just put it on the star. How you doing?
No, I know how to.
Okay, so you got it there for, you added It's Me to the shortcut bar?
Oh, wait, you want me to add it to here?
Uh-huh.
Okay. No, I didn't go that.
All right. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna click on the star. Well, go to It's Me first. So www.itsme.com. Now you did right. These computers just aren't, they weren't the fastest.
No, yeah, I'm not worried about that. Oh, wait, yeah, look, it's in favorites already, isn't it?
Well, it's in the cache.
It's in, oh, okay,
Yeah.
all right. Yeah.
So not the favorite, but it's in the cache. Okay, so we're gonna hit that, and we do want to save it to the bookmark bar, so just go ahead and hit done.
Mhm.
All right, so we're gonna click the star. Now
Oh, wait,
you,
yeah.
you don't have your bookmark bar showing. Hit done. All right, I'm just getting my bookmark bar real quick. Okay. So now we'll use what's called the snap feature. If you grab any screen and drag it to the left or the right, you'll see a little silhouette pop. So honey, what I want you to do is drag to the right. And what you want to do is grab it and hit the right hand side of the screen, and it's automatically going to have the screen up on the side. That's a feature in Windows 8 and up. Alright? So now what I want to do is grab that computer or network, the new shortcut we just added, and drag it and see if you can drop it on the desktop. And sure enough, there it is. So go ahead and close that out.
Yeah, you kidding? Ah, gotcha.
You got
Okay,
it?
yeah. All right.
That was pretty easy.
Where the little file here is.
Uh-huh. So now, all you have to do is click that file.
Okay. Look, all the stuff that I've learned from computers is like trial and error. You know, somebody will
Look,
come there.
you talking to the biggest trial and error person right here. I didn't go to school for this. I'm self-taught. I took my certification, got certified, and just went on from there. All right, let me help him out. Okay, so you did the first part, right? You added it here. So now you have to use two hands. There's two little buttons. We're going to use the left button. And you can grab stuff. See this little top bar?
Yeah.
If you click it and then move this with your mouse, if you hit the right hand side of the screen, see that silhouette just popped? I'm gonna move it. See that silhouette just popped up?
That's right.
Uh-huh. Now when you let go, it automatically halves off the screen. And what he did was, he took that's the thing we just added. That is the shortcut we just added for that site. So meaning we don't have to keep typing in www.itsme, you can just click here.
So actually, it's almost like the other way. It's just that this way. The other way I would do it would be, I would shorten it up just like this,
Yes.
and then take it from the bookmark, from the favorites,
And
stack, and drag it over.
Yeah, you should be able to do that.
Okay, wait, what do I actually call that little area here where the It's Me is?
Where?
Right here.
Oh, the bookmark. Wait.
No, wait.
No, that's the browser window. That's the
Wait,
there's another name for that.
Okay.
The address bar. That's what that's called.
Wait, that's what's called the address bar?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Right there where the www.ITTSME.com is, that's the address bar.
Okay, that's
So what we did was, So you wouldn't have to keep typing that and going to that every time. Now, you could just click on here and it goes straight there. So if you close this out, just hit the X in the upper right hand corner and then just double click this. And now, what it will do, hi.
You come up here where they have a computer at. So you, oh, okay.
All right, we're gonna pause just for a quick second and hurry up and, you good? Okay. All right, I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought. Where were we? Bookmark bar. All right, so we moved the bookmark bar from there. We put it on our desktop, so now we can create any bookmark by doing that. Right? Now keep in mind, this is with Google Chrome. Internet Explorer is a little bit different. But pretty much most people use Google. Do you need to see it in Internet Explorer? Because we can go through that as well.
No, cause look, what I'll do is just this. Any favorite that I want, I'll go through Google Chrome and
set
put
up.
it there.
Okay.
And cause look, it's basically gonna bring me to the same place.
Yes, it is.
It's gonna
It
have just different commercials and
It's,
stuff.
exactly. It works the same way. You use the star, but I think instead of the bar, they have a drop-down list, and you just drag it from the drop-down list, or do a copy and paste. So it's the same thing. It just looks a little bit different. But, I'll make sure you guys leave my card, so if you have a question or problem, you now have your own personal tech. You can call me for stuff like this. So this is no problem. All right, so we've talked about the antivirus. We've talked about protecting your machine. I want to point out one more thing about protecting your machine. Hit the E.
Sorry.
No problem.
What was the name of the antivirus you recommended?
The name of the antivirus we recommended was WebRoot. WEBROOT.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Malbits too.
Oh, Malwarebytes. Yeah, that's the
Malwarebytes.
secondary one. Malwarebytes. MALWAREBYTES. All right, and now this is another key feature. I'm trying to think of what can we search for. Honey, just do movie sites. Okay. Now, these are the things that you have to be careful for.
Really?
All right, when you go into certain sites, you have to really pay attention and know what sites you're going to. Now, as you can see, those up there are paid for, those are ads. See, and they say ad next to them. But as you go down, scroll down. All right, you have all these different websites. You have to be very careful about making sure you go to where you want to, where you mean to go. Scroll up. Click on, I think that first one up there. Watch free movie online. Yeah, now I wouldn't recommend doing this because you can get infected. Okay, see that page has what's called a broken link, so we're not even gonna go there. I'm trying to think, what can we look for? Do computer repair. Let's see what comes up with that. Or better yet, do drivers.
Computer driver?
Yeah, no, this is perfect. This is absolutely perfect. So, what I want you to notice, let's say we put in a video card in the machine, right? And every piece of hardware needs a piece of software to install. Or if you got a new printer, typically you have to install the driver. Some people lose their disc, can't find the software for it, whatever the situation may be. So then you don't have to throw away that printer. You can go online and get the software for it. But what a lot of people don't know is if you look here, if I have an HP printer, where do you think we should go?
HP.
That's right. If I have a Dell printer, where do you think we should go?
Dell.
What a lot of people don't do is they don't pay attention and they say, hey, download Windows Driver automatic driver updates. Let me click here.
And that's the home of a virus.
Go ahead and click that. Now, if I was looking for HP drivers, I would think I can get my drivers here. Because this looks like a pretty legit site. And most people are gonna come here and click this. Now they're gonna get some software. I haven't personally used these softwares. I stay away from them because I constantly hear bad things about them. I don't know if any tech has, made headway on it, but they come with viruses basically, okay? So we want to stay away from these. If you have a Dell, you want to go to Dell.com. If you have an HP, you want to go to HP.com. So, and this is why I say no virus protection is 100%. It's not because the virus protection is not going to do its job, but even the best, even Webroot. If you have Webroot installed on here and you click this, you're going to tell that virus or that site, I'm going to allow you to bypass my virus protection and get in my system. You know what it's going to do? It's going to disable that virus protection. Okay? So now you're wide open. That's like me coming to your house. I'm opening the back door and say, hey guys, come on in. Let's go. Let's do it. We're going to take everything in here. And basically just let other viruses in until your machine gets worse and worse. That's why you get the pop-ups. That's why you get the slowness. And eventually it'll just get to a point where it'll start crashing and doing different things. Yes.
I also wanted to point out, if you see that small writing underneath where it says download drivers now, it's actually having you to pay for it. It says $29.99, and a lot of people do that too.
Oh, I didn't even know
Right
that.
underneath the download drivers now, it's saying
sure
by
enough.
clicking this.
Good catch. And a lot of drivers, like, let's go, what was my old printer? Office Jet, HP Office Jet 4680, I think. Let's go to HP.com so we can see the difference. Alright, now we know how the icon for HP looks. So we can pretty much guess that, look, that looks just like HP. Now you still have to be careful because sometimes they'll come close, but usually it'll be like a bit off. The color may be off or something may be off that'll kind of give you a hint to that's not the right site. But everything about this HP looks good. And usually they'll have stuff like laptops and tablets, desktops, printers. We know that HP does all of these things. When they have all of this stuff, this is usually the right site. So what we would go to is software and drivers or support. On some sites it's under support. Right now, if you have Windows 8 or 10, a lot of times the computer is smart enough to know what you plug in. 28, I'm gonna go ahead and just reset that. Alright, so it knows what to install for your printer, but some of them don't. So when it doesn't, you can come here. Now you can do one of two things. You can click Identify Now, which will go ahead and automatically detect what you have. Sometimes that doesn't work. If that doesn't work, we can go here and type in whatever our model is on the front. It's typically on the front. It can be on a little sticker in the back. But if we type in our model, and let's do that. Office Jet 2620. You gonna get up here and teach the next class? Alright, and what you'll notice is on the side where they say Office Jet all-in-one printers, we just have to select our proper model because they have several models, 2620, 21, 22. Once again, it's all about paying attention. We wanted the 2620, which she is now selected. And this is how you can really tell when you're on the right site. They're giving you the printer, what it looks like. This looks really legit. And if we scroll down, they tell you, hey, software available for your operating system if you're running Windows 10. So a key thing is, if you had that old printer in the closet, you wanted to hook it up, you just hadn't hooked it up in a while, and you got it a year or two ago, but Windows 10 wasn't out then, right? So you could come online and get the new software for it, and it may work. A lot of people don't know that. Yes.
What if I got an HP printer that's like several years ago?
Okay.
That, would it do the same thing?
Yes and no.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Some printers they do allow to go forward, right? Some printers they actually you can do that same process and they will allow you, or they'll tell you rather, this printer is supported, just like you saw they have software for Windows 10, or they'll tell you it does not.
I got you.
In the situation that it does not, okay, hit no thanks. We can re-download that's really small. Trying to think of something that we can download really, really small so I can show you. Minimize that for a moment. Do we have anything? We have no executable. All right, we're gonna have to try to find something. Open up Google again, and I think we'll do WinRAR. That's pretty easy and small. Type in WinRAR, WinRAR, and what that is a zip program. A lot of people use if you ever gotten a file and had a little zipper on it. Or if you want to send if you ever tried to send a file in the email and it was too big, you could zip it and it would kind of, it's almost like taking the paper and crushing it up. But then when it gets to the other end, it'll reassemble it and make it just like it's brand new. So if it's normally 10 gigs or 10 megs, it'll reduce it down to maybe 5 or 7, which may get it under the mark or the margin that you need it to be to send the file. All right. And once again, all these different, download sites, but I know rawlabs.com is pretty much the correct one. So go ahead and go to Raw Labs.
Right here.
All right, and we're just gonna go ahead and get the 64-bit beta.
Let's get the one from Albania.
We can get that one. Look, they're covering all bases, huh?
Yeah.
All right, now close that because I don't want you to run it. All right, now minimize that. Whenever you download a file, it should go into your downloads folder. So to get to our download folder, we go ahead and click on the little manila folder down there. That's how you access my documents, my pictures, anything you put in your computer. This is where it's organized. Okay, just think of this as our file cabinet. All right, go ahead and click downloads. And you'll see our WinRAR executable. Now typically you can't see the exe because they're hiding that portion of the file. That's the extension. Every file has a dot something something, a dot 3-letter extension. All right, and just to show you guys what I'm talking about, see the Microsoft Word file says copy Jessica Broussard resume 1.doc. Everything has a 3-letter extension. Now we could show that by going to view. File name extensions. So if we check that, now notice they all have an extension now. And the thing is that WinRAR exe, so we're going to just say, for instance, like you said, you had an older printer, you went online, they didn't have the Windows 10 drivers, but you want to try to install it. If you right click that WinRAR.exe, which, that's me.
Sorry. All right, go ahead.
All right. Okay, so we right click the executable, come down to properties. All right, a lot of people don't know about this.
Yeah.
See that compatibility tab? All right, go ahead and click that. We can tell that executable as long as we have the old disk to it, all right, or we have the old software to it. We can trick it and go ahead and click this button or the little square under compatibility mode. and click the drop box, we can trick it and tell it, I want you to run, and we're gonna make you believe you're running on Windows 8 or Windows 7 or Windows Vista. So if it was made for an older operating system, you can come here and trick it and make it believe it's not running on Windows 10, it's running on an older operating system. So in a lot of cases, that's how I get older equipment to work on my client's machine.
Thank you. That's probably why I got the machine, because they couldn't figure that out.
Right, no.
So they just decided, hey, yeah, you have it.
And it's gonna fight you until you go ahead and run this. And then what you do is, once you say okay, don't hit it, honey, but go ahead and hit cancel because we don't want to do that here. But once you hit okay and that window goes away, then you just run that program like you would normally do, that .exe. Which typically everything has like a setup.exe. Exe is known as a setup file. That's how you install different programs. And you'll notice you'll see like TeamViewer, exe, and stuff like that. Now I'll show you a little bonus tip. If you're ever away from your computer and you need to access it from somewhere else, do we have TeamViewer? I see it on here. Do we have TeamViewer active on here? Nope. Alright, let's go ahead and install TeamViewer. That should be a small setup. See the TeamViewer?
Where? Right.
TeamViewer.
There we go.
There.
Okay.
Alright, so if you're not using this program for commercial use, you can select basic installation, personal use. If you select company use, they're going to charge you. Alright, so try to be fair. You know, if you're going to use it for business, go ahead and purchase it. But if you're going to use it for personal use, they don't charge, right? So say yes. And go ahead, and we're just going to step through. Now all we're doing right here is we're installing this little program. It's called TeamViewer. What it allows you to do is it allows you to connect to your PC from anywhere in the world that has an internet connection. So you could be in Africa and get an internet connection, and as long as you have what I'm going to show you, either the numbers on a file, or you can create a account, and you can log into your computer. So why would I use this? If you ran somewhere and you needed a file, I don't know, a business meeting, or you went by family and friends, you forgot that picture you wanted to show them, you could actually connect back home, right? And for instance, now there's two ways to go about it. See where it says your ID and password? You could write that down. Now the thing is, you just got to make sure your PC is not set to go to sleep or restart, because if it restarts, that password is going to change. And what that does, that keeps people from being able to log into your computer whenever they want. So if you needed somebody to log in, help you out, whatever, even myself, you know, who use me and you didn't like my service or whatever, you didn't want me to connect back, once you restart your machine, that number changes. I can't get back in. All right, but if you set up an account, then you can have a list of different services, and servers or computers or whatever right here. And basically, if you connect, let's go to Adrian 3, do the workstation. Yeah, I gotta get those, because those servers and stuff, we don't even deal with none of that. I'm gonna take that off. But anyway, so once you set it up, basically this is my computer at home. So right now I'm connected into my computer at home, and what I could do is I could go in and email myself or drag it into Dropbox or Google Drive or anything like that, and I could retrieve that file. So this comes in very handy. Or if you call me and say, hey Adrian, look, I'm in a bind, I got something going on, I don't know what's going on real quick, you could give me those numbers and I can connect to you and help you remotely. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and close this out.
Right here?
No.
No.
Ooh. Thank you. That one. Did it close? Close it?
It's saying it was.
There we go. Alright, so that's just a free tip, free tool. Very nice to use. So we can go ahead and close that. Alright. So, any questions on how to protect your data from the standpoint of viruses? Okay. So now, that is the first thing that's very important, is making sure your PC is protected with some kind of virus protection and just knowing how to manage and browse certain things. The second layer is making sure that your PC is backed up. Now, anybody know how do we back up a PC? Alright, there's several different methods on how we can back up a PC. Alright, and I'll start off with some of the most simple ones. Okay, you have your CD, DVD that you can burn stuff to,
Yeah, disc.
right? You have your flash drive, USB drive, thumb drive, all those different names refers to one thing. Those little USB sticks, they're about this long. You stick them in the USB slot and they come in various sizes that you can put your data on. While these are good, they don't break too much if you don't, drop them and stuff like that, but they can be lost. So just be careful about that. The next thing is the external hard drives. If you have a lot of stuff you need to do, you can do a small external portable hard drive. They have the ones now that you can plug directly into the computer and it's powered by the computer. The next size up, if you need something big, say like a 4 terabyte or 3 terabyte, you can get the ones that plug into the wall and plug in your system. I used to love those. The only thing I don't like about them is I'm all over the place, I'm clumsy. So sometimes I tend to knock them over, and if you knock them over while they're on, they mess up. Okay?
I have a question.
Yeah.
I remember somebody using a little device. It wasn't quite a tablet. It looks like a tablet, and it's about the size of, about this big, about the size of the hand. And I never understood what it was, but look, tablet usually is like this, and this is more rectangular.
It could have been an external hard drive.
Oh,
it could have been.
They come like that.
Yeah, they do.
They got. Okay.
They come in all shapes and sizes. They're squares that are about like this, and maybe about that thick. And then they have some that's rectangular, about like that, and about that thin. So they come in all shapes and sizes. How is it connected? How do they connect to the computer? Did it have like just a little USB, or did it have?
Yeah, look, it's pretty much like a little USB. It's sitting in a black sheath.
Okay.
But it looked like almost like a smartphone. It's a little bit bigger than that.
Go to bestbuy.com and look up external drives. Let's see if we can find what he's talking about. But I'm pretty sure it's going to be an external drive.
Okay, that's what it looks like.
Now, I'm going to tell you the pros and cons to using those. They're cheap, they're inexpensive. That's the good things about them. They're really easy to use. The con is you have to manually move those files from the computer to that component. So if you're doing anything, if you're taking pictures or something like that, if you got important documents, if you forget to move any of these look like it?
Okay, yeah, look, like the Seagate. The Seagate looks
Okay.
more like it because it's rectangular, not quite like not quite like a passport.
The passport, but like the Seagate, that was more than like the external hard drive.
Oh, okay.
So, and those are great. I've had several of these, right? As long as you don't drop them, they are wonderful. But like I say, the con to it is that you have to manually move your files from PC to that. And there's two things I want to make sure we're clear about. There's two different things you can do. You can cut and paste, or you can copy and paste. Okay? So when you cut and paste, you're moving the file, right? So if I cut here and paste to a flash drive, then I'm moving the file off of the computer to the flash drive. You don't typically want to do that. You want to duplicate it. So you want to copy. And just to show you what I mean, go ahead and minimize that. All right, can you move that PDF right over here to the middle? All right. Now, if we right click, we get a set of options, and you'll notice there's an option to cut and copy, right? So if we were to cut this file and put it on the flash drive, this file would disappear. It would no longer exist on this laptop. But if we were to copy it, it would leave a duplicate here and put another copy on the flash drive. Now, why is that helpful?
Because if you lose one, then you still got the other.
That's right. So you have two copies, and a lot of people don't do that. A lot of people cut and paste rather than copy and paste, and that's the whole premise. You want a duplicate, so if you lose that flash drive, you can come back. You haven't lost that file. Or if your computer crashes, you have that backup on the flash drive. All right?
Yeah. Wait, you're talking about backup.
Yes, we're
Can
talking
you-
about
yeah.
backup.
What about those services that say they put your material in a cloud?
Yes.
Yeah.
I was just getting to that.
Okay, all right.
So that's perfect. Do you know what the cloud is?
My understanding is that it's space in gigabytes land. Like 4G.
Mm-hmm.
It's space there that what happens is you transmit your information there and it connects with a satellite and they beam it back to you.
Okay. What the cloud actually is, if I build a computer, put it right here, right? Let's say I build 5 computers, and I loaded those 5 computers with a bunch of hard drives, bless you. All right, and I had just a ton of space. And I said, hey, how about you connect it to my servers? I'm gonna let you store your files on my system so that in case you ever get robbed, if you ever have a fire, flood, all your files are sitting on my hard drive. That's what the cloud is. So it's just somebody in another state that has some big computers, right? That has a lot of storage.
And they got your stuff in zip drives.
They got your stuff in their hard drives, zip drives, or whatever it is that they're using. They're saving it for you. And they just give you a login and password so that you only have access to your files. That's all the cloud is. So when we think about cloud storage, it's very, very efficient. It just takes time. So if you're a person that you need your data right now, it may not be for you, because if you have a local backup, like you have that flash drive or that any one of these external drives, you can literally plug that stuff in a new computer, 2 seconds, them files are there, right? But if you have a few files, even still, this is going to transfer a lot faster because you have it right there. It's a faster connection. If you have one of these services, it could take a while to get your files. Right, if you have a lot of files. Now, if it's just one file, it's only going to take a few seconds. It's no big deal. If you have just a little document, picture, those are small. You can download those in just a few seconds. But if you're, doing a business or you doing photography or something like that, and you have a lot of files, it could take a good bit of time. Now, the pros to those kind of services are you don't have to think about it, and that's what I love about those type of services. So in most businesses, I do a 2-phase backup system. So you would start off with what's called a RAID. You would have multiple hard drives where they back up one another. So if that one falls, you have a second one to start running. If both of those fall, we have an external backup. And it can be something like this, just one of these little USB drives, right? And then we have a third, which is the off-site backup, which is your cloud drive. So that if they forget to set up, or do their backup or run their backup, whatever it is, or something goes wrong with the setup that we have, of the backup locally, that offsite backup is happening automatically. So those are the benefits. And one of the ones that I recommend is Carbonite. So let's go ahead and go to carbonite.com. Alright, so Carbonite, automatic cloud backup for your files, photos, and more, starts at $59.99 for the year. So that means for the whole year, it will back up everything in your computer. I think that is absolutely amazing. So they're not even telling you how much space you have to back up. They're saying we're just going to back up your whole computer, one computer, for $59 a year. You don't have to think about it, you don't have to do anything. And it doesn't continuously run every day, so it's not backing up your whole computer every day. What it does is it will do one full backup of your computer. Then from then on, as you make changes to files on your computer, it knows that, and it will only back up that one file. So it doesn't hog your system, it doesn't slow your system down, it does what it needs to do in the background. So it's a really, really nice way to back up your system. So once again, let's just kind of go through what are different ways to back up.
You got your disk, you got USB,
Right.
you got the external hard drive, then you got the offsite, which is Carbonite.
Right.
Okay, so what? That's like 4.
That's 4 different ways you can back up your system. What's the pros of having a flash drive? That's right.
It's faster.
It's faster. Same thing with a USB drive. What's the pros to Carbonite? Or what's the pros to online backup?
The pros is that
It's automated.
yeah, well, okay, it's automated and look, it's off-site. So like, if
Yeah.
your stuff gets drowned in a flood,
Katrina, fire, somebody, breaks in your house, steals your stuff. Any of those situations, you would be covered and your data is backed up. You don't even have to worry about it. I mean, now if they get in the computer, that's another issue. And there's some other things you can do with that as well. They have LoJack, which if somebody powers on a computer, you can actually track it. So that's a software you can load on your computer and you can track your PC. So the minute they power it on, it's like, oh, send it to the cops. And they'll go pick up your PC. All right, so we're pretty much at the end of class. Do we have any questions? Any?
1,000 questions, but I'm right now. I gotta go and some little meeting. Man, it's okay. Really
Turn on the lights. But no, it's absolutely fine. Write down your questions. So the next time you come to class, you have them for me, because I'm going to start doing some open classes as well. And what I mean by open classes is just going to be back and forth. People will be able to ask questions, and we'll just start doing it right here in class. So that way, I think that'll be very informative for people, because a lot of times people be scared or they don't think to ask a particular question.
Yeah.
When somebody else asks, they'll be like, hey, I want to know that too.
Exactly.
So it works out. All right.
So there's a fee in the next class. I'm gonna be. I gotta
Yeah.
get on that.
Going forth, the classes will be $30 a session.
A session.
Yeah.
$30. How often the classes?
For right now, we're going to have them every Monday, and we're asking for feedback from everybody to tell us when or other days that they would be comfortable with and what other times. So if you tell us a day and time, once we get about 5 plus people that agree to the same date and times, we'll open up other days and time. So, and you can reach us, let me give you a card.
Oh my God.
And like I said, my name is Adrian.
Adrian, thank you, man. Thanks a lot.
Yeah. Adrian, go on, fuck that.
And y'all can call me for anything. This is my wife Jessica, she also works with me, so you may get her. So if you have any computer related question, feel free to call.
So next Monday so far, we're gonna show up
Yeah, next Monday we're
cash only, that's something, yeah.
no, you know what? I'm gonna set it up because I'd rather, it'll be cash for next month, but I'm gonna set up something through the website because I'd rather people pay ahead of time.
So
That way we don't have
on
to keep
us.
cash on premise.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't want people thinking we keep cash here.
Which,
So we'll set that up.
Thank you, man.
I gotta